Hello, everybody. Watching on playback. Howdy. And I have a few lovely folks waiting for me. And it's Miss Nancy. Hello, Miss Nancy. And also here, but wearing his invisibility cloak is Dave. No, and David. David. Boy, I screwed that up, didn't I? So we'll get this started in a few moments. I've been wanting to bring this show back. And the one time I did it, it was with Ivana Intuitive. So be sure to check out Ivana's channel. She reads regularly with Ginger Faye as well. And yeah, I think we did the show based on the idea of law of attraction or positivity. So today it's just going to be creative messages utilizing creativity. And I have, whoops, I need to grab my book for that because of the prompts. I have my Artist Decoded Tarot with me. And so we'll see if anybody pops in and wants a reading, and let me know, Miss Nancy and Mr. David, if anybody would like a creativity reading. It's basically a reading, but one of the cards I'm going to look at, the significator, and see what they provide as a creative tool to help understand the card and help get your creative juices flowing. And Nancy, talking about Dune earlier today, there is actually a prompt in here acknowledging the series and the movies as well. So I know there's a few shows going on. I try to stick myself in the middle. Believe it's Jackie B is going on at 4. And then I think Gerald might be doing a show or wrapping up a show right now. So giving again a few minutes for anybody who wants to pop in, and let me put my little ticker there and get it started. So it says I have one person watching. So what's up, Nancy? How's your day going, my dear? I know you were excited with getting to know your new deck. Jax is in another chat that's almost over. That's fine. I think that's probably Gerald's show, maybe with Jamie. I did a little bit of painting this afternoon, and I looked at the time and I went, oh, I got to get ready for the show. Sometimes when you do art, you lose track of time, and of all days to do creativity readings. So we'll give it a few minutes. So while I'm waiting for folks to pop in, maybe I'll get it started with a collective and see how this goes. So yeah, it's got books. It doesn't hold really big books too well because when you go to pull one out, they all end up coming out. But it's nice for some of the shorter, smaller books and some of my decks. So yeah. I just wish at some point, Nancy, I need to get those display things. You can get them like on Amazon and stuff that, sits in here so that you can put stuff down here and then you can sit more things on top of there. We had those at this crystal store I worked at. Okay, so to do a collective and get an idea of how these readings will go, I also brought my new basic tarot that Mary Grace Faroon recommended. I thought that was pretty cool. These cards help you with yes and no questions. It talks about decans, which I am not familiar with, so I get to learn a little bit about decans and basic up and down and stuff. So it's nice to have a little back me up, a little. So we will start with the collective and see what we can get for the collective. You pulled yours out too. Very cool. And let's see. That's going to be the middle and the underline. All righty. So for the collective, for the main card, the significator, what you get, Nancy? I pulled the Fool. And Jackie B, and Miss Jackie B, if you're nasty. Jackie, not a lot of people in chat right now, but I will be mentioning it during the show. I'll probably be on about an hour, not much longer, letting people know that 4 o'clock you are going live to do readings. So I will be letting people know to go over to you. So for the collective, I got the Fool. And for the Fool, I love what they write, everything and nothing. But yes, it's a creative leap. Have faith, go with what makes you happy, what's blissful. And also what I love they write in the book, it's a voyage of self-discovery. And you can definitely do a voyage of self-discovery using the arts. So I'm just taking a look here to see anything highlighted before I get to the creativity part. I like this. Hold space for what's possible while keeping an open mind and a light heart. This attitude can open new potential for growth, freedom, and expansion beyond the horizon of what is. And so you're relaxing, getting ready. I'll probably pop in chat when I'm done with here, and I'll stop by and say hi. So the creativity, what we could do on a creative level, what they recommend is reveal what is hidden by exploring stream of consciousness writing. And what is that? Set a 10-minute timer and write down your thoughts as they come without filtering or editing them. Just flow, just write. Don't even think twice about what you're writing. If it sounds silly, doesn't make sense, just start free flowing. Need inspiration? Consider the writing of authors like James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, and Franz Kafka. So that is the creativity prompt to get you inspired for the Fool's Journey, a voyage into self-discovery through the arts. And the other 2 cards is the Hermit. So this is a great time when you go into self-reflection. When you go into when I say self-isolation, not as the negative form of self-isolation. This is going within, isolating yourself, detaching yourself from people for a while, from the phone, and just do whatever is maybe music or not even music at all. And this is a great time to be able to do that free-flowing writing and tapping into your subconscious and letting it see what brings forth for you. So that's a perfect card for going into that mindset of that creative flow. And the underlying energy is going to be the 5 of Cups. So right now, this is the perfect time, especially when we are having moments when we feel lost, sad, and if you're in the middle of grieving, and it doesn't necessarily mean a loss of a loved one. This could be grieving aspects of oneself, or things in life that you kind of miss. I was doing that the other night. I was grieving over my 20s. I was listening to music that I listened to in my 20s, and while it was uplifting, it's also kind of brought me down emotionally a notch, because it's a time of my life where I can't go back and fix mistakes and rearrange stuff. But for me, it's about reliving the music, reliving the college years and all that. So whatever grief represents to you right now in life, any depression or sadness, this is a beautiful time to just let go and go with the flow, with creativity. And for those who just came in, hello, Cat Goddess. Hello, Thankful. I'll go ahead and share the prompt, and I'll explain in a minute what book and deck I'm using. So again, the creative prompt for the Fool here that they recommend is reveal what is hidden by exploring stream of consciousness writing. Set a 10-minute timer and just write down your thoughts as they come without filtering or editing them. And if you need inspiration, they recommend authors like James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, Franz Kafka. I love anything poetry with, pretty much with Robert Frost. A lot of authors, for me, I love Dan Brown, the Da Vinci Code, one of the greatest to me books ever. I absolutely love, could not put that book down. And I will start again with that series that I just picked up again after all these years, The Walker Papers by C.E. Murphy. Sci-fi, fantasy, magic, shamanism, you name it, romance. Not like, saccharine sweet romance, but a good kind. So just writing and letting it flow. And the best time to do that, especially if not, and you don't always have to feel low to be able to do to be inspired to do this. It's just that maybe for some, our underlying energy might have us in a lower mood. And if we go into that hermited mode, grab that paper, that pen, and just start writing and see what comes out. So that's the kind of readings we're going to do today. And the deck that I brought is one of my favorite decks. It's called The Artist Decoded, and it is written by Jennifer Sodini, and the artist is Yoshino. And Yoshino is a graphic and fine art artist. And yes, he incorporated his work with AI, and it's a beautiful deck. And for each of the cards, they give something what's called Imagine. And that's where they suggest ways of getting inspired through painting, watching movies, TV shows, classic books. So I thought it would be great to bring back that show today and get a little burst of energy. And booyah, smack that sassy. She's here. You better smack that sassy or she's going to come after you and smack it for you. Just kidding, Jax. But hello, my dear. I know, girl, you don't have to worry about money. I've got things under control. You are a blessing, though. And I did think I saw Lori is here. I really like that deck. Me too. Count me in. Gotcha. So, yeah, most of all the major arcana are just absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, there's only a few cards here and there that I was kind of like, wah, wah. But you know what? For the most part, absolutely love this. And if you love this deck, on my old channel, Indigo Jaguar, I actually had a panel join me to discuss what they thought of the art of AI. And this is going back about a year ago. So there's going to be readers that's no longer in my circle, but we had a wonderful discussion. Ramon Muscara was a part of my panel. Amanda, Tropical Empress and Spirit, Jeff Bailey, Tarot Ask Backwards, he was a part of the panel, and Tom, Early Ritual, was also one of them, and then me. Because it was a tight little panel, but yeah, we shared our thoughts and ideas and whatnot about the deck. So. All righty, let me grab my sheet of paper so I don't miss anybody who would like a reading. So what I'm going to do is, the first card that's going to be your significator, I'm going to look at that and read that art creative prompt, and then read out what the other cards have to say. All righty. So sip, sip, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed that full moon. Oh, thank you, Nancy. It's my native top. Isn't it pretty? I love the the design. I think this is like the favorite design of mine from different Native American, a lot of different indigenous tribes in the area in North and South America, mostly North America, use this motif, and it's beautiful. It like represents feminine, the butterfly, different ones. So I absolutely love that. I love and you know how I got this? Check Spirit Halloween, everybody, because Ramon had this cup. And I was like, oh, I got to have that cup. And he told me, well, I got it a year ago. I don't know if they carry it. So the following year, when Halloween came around and I went to Spirit Halloween, it was on the shelf. So I nabbed it. So I would check Spirit Halloween. I don't know if they have their website open year round. I think they would, so that people can start getting their costumes and stuff ready for Halloween. Excuse me. Even drinking water, I get all. Yes. They're faceless, but at the same time, the colors are just stunning. And I've used a couple of those cards in the past during one of Jonathan and I's live painting to get inspired from. So making sure, yep, there's Cat Goddess, and there's Thankful, who is Sahita. You know Sahita, right? Yep, Sahita. And I know Lori asked, oh, okay, so let me see. Jax is in another chat. Okay, so boy, Cat Goddess, you are right off the bat. So I have Cat Goddess. And I know Lori, so let me write Lori. And for anybody who doesn't know who's Lori, well, that is Craigie Brooke Witchery. And I have to watch your latest video. I noticed that in my feed this morning. Yes, fancy meeting Nancy here. So let's see, making sure. Whoops. There, my cap. Yes, my cap did fall apart too, Nancy. So people, you gotta be careful. You can't really lift or tighten it too hard to go and tighten it, because that happens. So just be mindful of that. Gibbered up. Did I say gibbered up? Me but caboose. Okay. Let's see. I'll write on my list caboose. So, alrighty, let's get started. Now I got that black eyed piece on in my head. Let's get it started. Hey, let's get it started in here. So, Cat Goddess, you are first up. And let's see what your creativity prompt is going to be. There's more now than, I mean, we always need creativity, but in times like this, any form of creativity that gets us out of the head for a while, you know, gets us in touch with our creativity, our spirit, our soul. That brings us joy, brings us happiness. Okay, so. Ooh, Cat Goddess. Well, it looks like we can be using some creativity, girl. Alrighty, let me grab my book and find your first card. You got the 5 of Wands. Alrighty, and what's also very cool about this book, it also gives you the basic correlation to the Kabbalah as well. Now they gave me a red here. I'm not sure because I don't study the Kabbalah, but let's see. They're mentioning colors. So with this book also, I'll go ahead and mention for certain cards, we have the hidden spheres. We have the 4 worlds, the tetragrammaton, and we also, okay, so the red means Javura, which is severity. And we also have like a brief symbol, key for the symbols of the tree of life. So yours is Javura, which is severity. And so Javura is Chesid's paired opposite and represents restrictive energies, which offer lessons through boundaries, structure, and limitation. It is the power that refines and corrects, providing strength even through the extreme. So you received for your significator, my dear, today the Five of Wands, which is about conflict and struggles. And this can be outside of ourselves with others, or this could also be things that we hold internally within ourselves as well. The writer of this, the author is Jennifer Sodini, and she writes wonderfully. And so this is a card like they're mentioning with Javura. I have to learn have to learn them properly. Javura talks about, again, boundaries, and also the discipline that we need to uphold those boundaries. So right now, this is a lot of what's going on in the world, especially here in the US. And so when that bleeds into our personal lives and our own personal battles and struggles and things that we have to do during the day, it can become overwhelming. So I'm just looking here to see if there's anything we can add to this that could be helpful. By embodying this mindset, you can quell the Five of Wands fire and potentially work towards a harmonious resolution. So, because they say, fighting fire with fire is never going to extinguish the flame. If you approach conflict with nuance, you may be surprised how quickly the dynamic shifts. And so your creativity for this that they recommend. Alrighty, Akira Kurosawa's film Rashomon from 1950 revolves around the subjectivity of truth and the nature of perception. Using a samurai's death as the inciting incident, he explores the differing plausible accounts of what happened, leaving viewers questioning the existence of a single objective reality, which sounds very much like what has been going on in our world, especially our country. Wow, for the past 10 years. So take this as an inspiration and reinterpret an argument with ambiguity, unattached to object or subjective truth. Reflect on the dispute, then empathetically consider how the other person's motivations, pressures, and experiences might have influenced their stance. Acknowledge their multidimensional nature and unique mix of strengths and weaknesses. Retell the story from this layered perspective, highlighting the full spectrum of humanity for everyone involved. Avoid focusing on who was right or who was wrong, or binary labels as good or bad, and explore the gradients of nuance. If you feel a creative block, analyze the character development and the use of moral ambiguity in shows like Euphoria, Beef. I don't know what Beef is, y'all. 6 Feet Under, The Sopranos, or Better Call Saul. So, Cat Goddess, if there is any, that's your other card, excuse me. If there are any disputes or arguments or quarrels or even inner conflicts right now, maybe looking at it from the perspective that they offered, rewriting the story, looking at it from possible different angles of like the other person, what could they have been going through that day? What might have been their environment being raised? What was their possible upbringing? What was their experience or trauma? Like sometimes, like the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. So this is a a prompt or a activity where we rewrite this dispute, argument, whatever it may be, from all different angles, all different facets, and trying to see it from different perspectives, which may give us a sense of, like they said, that nuance, so where we're able to maybe peacefully do a resolution. And there is no resolution with this other person that might bring a sense of closure to oneself. So your other two cards is this. So your first one was the star, the top card. So right now, despite this this conflict, not to give up on your dreams, not to give up on things that you wish for, being connected to your intuition. This is a beautiful card of hope as well. So not giving up on hope, on your dreams. Keep working with them. And maybe this writing will help maybe give you some inspiration on how to navigate another pathway or another avenue towards a goal, a wish, or a dream that you have that might have been put on the side, or knocked off course, maybe because of this conflict or chaos. And then your underlying energy, girl, is the Ten of Swords. So this is the time where we need to be able to pick ourselves up, take those swords out. It's the end of a cycle, and it's time to move forward. So using this current energy and doing something very creative to bring yourself into a different perspective. And just like the star here, there's like different facets to the star. It looks like a Merkaba in a way. And so by writing down the situation, whatever it may have been that caused you this much pain and conflict, rewriting it, analyzing it, and using that to lift you up and get you back on course, my dear. So now I'm going to check the chat and see what you had to say. All righty. Woohoo. And Gypsy JJ is here. Okay, so there's the caboose. Heather, what was the deck that was oval that you showed me last week? All righty, that would be the glyph. Lori, it is by Prism. That shouldn't be on my screen. It's written backwards, but it's by Prism and Fleur. They are on Etsy. Visuals and writings, Prism and Fleur by Paige. It's really a beautiful deck. I think maybe Hector would like that one too. Maybe. But yeah, these are the oblong ones. And so, yep. It's a beautiful deck. I absolutely love that deck. And it's great for writing poetry and prompts and things. So let me put that there. All righty. Said gibbered. I said gibbered, but jib is a sailboat. Okay. Bye. Oh, Miss Nancy's probably gone already. Bye, Nancy. Soprano. See, I didn't like those shows. I could not get into those shows. And Gypsy JJ is here. Starship is awesome. Oh, awesome. The band Starship. We built this city. Let's see. Always go. Oh my God. Yes. Star trekking across the universe. Always going forward because we can find reverse. Merkaba. Yes. And Cat Goddess says, thank you. And you're welcome, my dear. All righty. And Hector will like it. I absolutely adore him. And Lori, did you know Miss Tarot D's husband? His name is Hector as well. So he's in good company. And there you go. Boom. All righty. So up next is Lori. So let's get So Lori, sounds like you have the deck you said. What I was just wondering what your favorite I know it's kind of hard to pick your most favorite out of the deck, but do you have like one or like a top three? Most of the major arcana are absolutely stunning. I know like the Three of Wands is kind of boring. There was one because it's like all like yellow ochre. There was one that was just kind of like all green. Oh no, it's on your wish list. Okay. For people who watch on playback and wanted maybe gift Lori something. There you go. All righty. That is the main card. Now I really need to get back to painting tonight after I'm done. I'm getting inspired. Okay. All right. Another 6. All righty. So let's set that aside there. Let me open my book so we can get to that lovely artistic prompt. Okay, so let me go to the Tree of Life because I don't have these memorized. Tiferet. Okay, so Lori, you got the 6 of Cups. And I just love how they were able to work with the AI and his art and create such beautiful space and depth with the colors. Just absolutely gorgeous. So you have the 6 of Cups, and it falls under Tiferet. And Tiferet is beauty. Positioned at the center of the tree, Tiferet represents beauty and balances. Oh, wait a minute. Tiferet represents beauty and balances Chesed and Gevurah. This sphere is considered the central sun, emanating harmony and balance. It is the great equalizer and the only emanation in the Tree of Life with shared connective arteries to all the other Sephirah. Interesting. And so their quote for this card, key phrase is through your inner child's eyes. And of course, nostalgia, taking delight in experiences, from cherished memories or from when we were children. And I think this even can come through at different ages, through our life stages where we have that sense of happiness and nostalgia. I love where it says here, a world filled with bold color and hazy yet strangely familiar echoes of the past. So the resonant Sephirah, Tiferet, represents sublime beauty and the spiritual heart. In the context of this card, the astrological association with Scorpio complements Tiferet in its wealth of emotional depth, passion, and intensity. And let's see. And of course, it's encouraging you to connect with your inner child right now. And another quote they have here, enjoy the little things because one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. So your imagine prompt, your creativity prompt for this card. Reflect on your childhood and focus on any favorite memories, items, characters, or big dreams you had at that time. Write down any crucial moments that carry significance or sentiment. Use these experiences as inspiration to craft a simple storyline for a short children's book in which your childhood self is the main character. Ooh, I love this. So as you write and illustrate the pages, infuse your work with heart, playfulness, and other vital emotions that inspire whimsy. When you're finished, Read the story out loud while imagining what it would feel like if you had this book as a child. Take a note of any feelings or emotions that come forth, and capture them in your heart as a reminder of that childlike spark and a testament to how far you've come. Need inspiration? Consider the children's book series Little People, Big Dreams by author Maria Isabel Sanchez Vergara and illustrator Ana Albero. And for me, I automatically thought of the 12 Dancing Princesses. I loved that story, that book growing up. So that is going to be your artistic prompt, Lori, for you for this reading. I am Scorpio and have a deck for inner child work coming called Echoes. Beautiful. So you're going to, maybe you can write that story and share it on one of your recorded videos. Would love to hear it. So your other cards that go with, here, let me put this there. So your other cards that go with this reading is the Six of Pentacles. And I love that because I think it is, with this card here, if we're going to be connecting with our childlike wonder, that's a beautiful way of your inner child giving to you. It's that reciprocity. You know, she's offering you this opportunity to reconnect and share, you know, your joys, your memories, that feeling of abundance and that anything was possible when we were younger. And I think also by sharing your story, if you go ahead and you write this and you read it to, you know, people that, you know, you feel comfortable reading it with, that's going to be something that gives back to others and brings their moods up and might inspire them to writing their own story and getting connected to their own inner creativity. And so I love that, Lori. And then the underlying card is the Ten of Pentacles. So by maybe writing that, you're connecting and leaving a mark on your legacy. You know, this would be a beautiful way of kind of like not an autobiography, but sharing your you know, creating this beautiful, whether it's nonfiction or it's I'm not sure when it's something that's fiction, but it's taken from actual events. But whatever the story is, Lori, you know, writing it down, sharing it, to me, it's a beautiful legacy to leave behind, an acknowledgement to your ancestors. And I can't think of the words, like a gift. It's a token to your ancestors. It's an honoring to share, you know, these experiences that you had and leaving that that story behind for maybe future generations to share. So I love that. Selena is sending me the deck. Oh, how beautiful. I just lit a cherry blossom candle for the Woo Woo crew. Cherry blossoms are very beautiful. Yes, I may even play around with that later. Factotum. Girl, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. What you saying, girl? So let me take a sip. And if there isn't anybody else, Jack's will be my last reading. And just so, like I told Jackie, I would let everybody know, she does go at 4 doing some live readings with, I believe her name is Julie or Judy. My apologies. So Jax, you're up next. Let's see what we get. I'm enjoying this. I'll have to do another show more often. I'll do shows more often with this idea. Only thing is these cards stick. They're a thicker cardstock. It's well made, but that that gloss or that veneer that they put on it makes it kind of sticky. Sometimes hard to. Jax, I think I got another card that I got for you the other day. Didn't you get a 3 of Cups? Sticky is icky. Oh, so Jax, you got the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, can I buy a vowel? You sure can. Let's see. Wheel of Fortune. And there we go. So the art of letting go. Hot diggity dog. So let's see. I'm trying to see the color. I believe this is a blue Saphira. Not Sephora, Saphira. Though they're very interesting that they're similar. Okay, now where did I lose my Tree of Life connection here? Alrighty. No, it is not. So you got the Chesed, which is mercy. So that's the Sephora. That goes with that. Also known as Gadula, which is kindness in Hebrew. The sphere represents benevolence and embodies loving kindness, forgiveness, and generosity. This expansive energy promotes abundance and seeks to nurture and support the creative process. And when I read that, what it says here, your kindness and generosity, I can think of, remember that Natalie Merchant song? You've been so kind and generous. I don't know, but you keep on giving. So yeah, like I was saying, I was listening to my music, my 20s music. So the art of letting go reminds us that our lives constantly cycle, moving one phase to the next. And of course, we have to start all over and repeat. So it's basically wash, rinse, repeat if necessary. If you receive this card in your reading, it can indicate good fortune, an unexpected twist of fate, or a rewarding moment of chance. And another great song from the 80s from a movie that kind of flopped, but it was John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in the movie Twist of Fate. Great song, the movie not so much, but that's okay. We get a lot of good songs from the 80s from, the B movies. So your creativity prompt, my dear, is the spiral can symbolize the cycles of time, life, and death, and constant change. Start by drawing a large spiral freehand or with a stencil. Use this as a guide to write about a significant loss in your life that ultimately led to spiritual gain. Begin with the adversity and end with the positive outcome. Let the shape guide your writing flow, moving from the center outward and back. Delve into the deeper meanings and links between endings, beginnings, and the spaces in between. I don't think I've read that one yet, Jax. That's beautiful. And I know some people write like poems or affirmations on the lines, in the spirals and in some artwork. And again, too, significant loss doesn't necessarily mean the loss of a loved one, although I know you've had to deal with a lot of that, the last few years. But this could be something else too. But that's for you and your soul, to connect with the space between. I really love that Dave Matthews Band song too. Okay. I'm learning the abbreviations. And so your other two cards, my dear, is the 10 of Cups. So I think by doing that creative prompt, for me, it feels like the connecting to the family. And, if they mention talking about, loss and even grief, girl, you got cups here. Your other one's a cup too. So I feel like this is good. This prompt would be good connecting with family, the loss to the spiritual side, the other side, and those still, within your life that have had its up and downs that you can write about as well. But the writing, I think, will bring some sort of emotional healing towards you and for you. Because you embrace everybody, even the ones that have hurt you or taken advantage, because that's your heart. It doesn't mean that people can emotionally use you or manipulate you, but this is, to me, a card more of when doing that spiral, going within, and even not just family, but people in your life, from like people who believed in you, teachers, mentors, counselors, whoever. And I think once you start doing that prompt, it brings a sense of fulfillment, and it shows just how much love and joy have been in your life. And your underlying energy, 3 of Cups. And so continuing forward, those, celebrating with you, celebrating your emotions. And this could be you too, celebrating, the triple goddess that's within us as well. But a beautiful celebration of love, joy, commitment. Cups about, artists as well, tapping into that intuition, our artistry, our creativity. These are just really beautiful cards, Jax. And I like when I get beautiful cards for you. Because a lot of times we get the tough ones, But yeah, that the activity of doing that spiral and just, going within and just helping you get through these moments, remembering the people that did love you, that does still love you, whether here or on the other side, and those who have been supportive of you. Yeah. And those that are here that are willing to share in that celebration. So, yeah, I love those cards. Some weeks be like that, though. Yeah. Me too. So, yes, lots of emotions. And that's creativity, isn't it? It helps us process our emotions in positive ways, powerful ways. And of course, YouTube, I am not a doctor, but this is just scientifically proven that when people partake or engage in creative activities, it does show that it helps with blood pressure, cortisol levels, gets us grounded. It's a healing tool. So, how do you spell Jax Mangled? Jax. We call her Jax that way. So, alrighty. Well, I have 7 people sent in chat. So I've read for Cat Goddess, Lori, and the Caboose. And if there's anybody else who would like a creativity reading to get your creative juices flowing and to get a message, please let me know. It's Jacqueline, but that is more me. That's still a very cool name. They have Jacqueline, like Jacqueline Smith, Oh, Jackie, you're still here. Don't you have a show, girl? Girl, if you got to go, I'll do your reading, sweetheart, and you can come back and watch it. So let me get Jackie in there. Jackie B. And okay. And Sahita is here. Okay. So let me cross. Okay, Jackie B. Well, Jackie, let's see if I can get this out to you. Yeah, we can multitask, right? Okay, Jackie B. Ooh, her creativity prompt. Oh, that came out again. Okay. I love it when cards just jump out. Oh. Another 2 6s. All righty. So, Jackie, you got the 6 of Pentacles as your going to be your creativity card, your focus. So let me get to that page. I think it's in the back of the deck card. Book. Yes. And let's get that. So your Sephirah is Tiferet as well. So we're going to jump over to here because they'll mention that in here. So the charitable heart. And you got the 6 of Pentacles for your main card for your creativity. Generosity in spirit, and in capital, a pay it forward mindset. The card's resonant Sephirah, which is Tiferet, emanates beauty while encouraging a sense of compassion and empathy in our interactions with others. So very much like you, Jackie. The sphere promotes a harmonious approach to sharing resources and supporting those in needs, like we support each other in our community. You're welcome, Lori. My pleasure. So let's see. When this card appears in a reading, it seeks to inspire an awareness that the flow of abundance is not one-sided. And it's the importance of sharing your blessings and using your resources to generate a positive ripple effect. And that's what you do. Doing your readings with others, collaborating, being in chats like mine, supporting me, leaving those amazing comments afterwards gets me more into the algorithms. So, this beautiful new little group, it's weird to use the word, well, we reciprocate, but we do. We're able to give when we can, and that's beautiful. And so your creativity prompt, my dear, is this creative practice is simple yet profound, they say. Today, perform as many random acts of kindness as possible. Use your creativity to generate unique and thoughtful methods to spark joy, foster equity, and offer support in new, unexpected, or meaningful ways. Need inspiration to start? Begin by complimenting a stranger about something that has nothing to do with physical appearance. I like that prompt. And I think you're going to be doing a lot of that this afternoon when you go live, my dear. Beautiful. And your other cards, because I know you got to get going. Your top card is 6 of Wands. Didn't you get this too the other night? I know somebody got the 6 of Wands. So the 6 of Wands is this energy right now of victory, overcoming adversity. That's also the 9 of Wands, but overcoming adversity, that's a victory. That's a win. I'll take that. Success. So being able to walk forward with your head held up high, not in ego, but in just accomplishment. That success, that hard-earned success. And I probably should stop doing this. I'm trying to think. Now, your underlying energy, though, is the 7 of Wands. So with that, earned success, also establishing boundaries, standing up for what you believe in, and not taking any crap from anybody. So sometimes when we have that success and we have that achievement, sometimes that brings, the green out of people, of envy, jealousy. So as moving forward, sticking to your boundaries, and just being that beautiful soul and light that you are, Jackie, and that, to me too, that beautiful energy, that circle of light of protection, just let that radiate. No haters here, no negative energy, individuals in my chat, only loving light, in people, that are here to inspire me, to encourage me, to empower me and support me. So there you go. Definitely. No is the sentence. Yes, it is. And that was for you, my dear. Have a great show, and I'll pop in when I can after this one. All righty. Oh, and Jackie, I got to email you maybe for next Friday. Hang out with me on a Friday night, because I know Friday night, this Friday, might be too soon, but I've been meaning to reach out to you. And so it is. There you go. Like she said. Alrighty, so that was Jackie B. I have Sahita. Ooh, okay. Oh, one of my favorite cards. This is just beautiful. I love the artwork. Alrighty. Oh, how everyone was seeing me shuffling these cards. So a lot, like I said, like we say, a lot of our personal readings are very reflective of the collective as well, because a lot of our outside experiences in the world are very shared, are very similar. So, oh, you're welcome, my dear. Mwah. So, Sahita. Ooh, the Two of Wands. And where are my wands in here? I got to put little markers in here, little tabs. And let's see what that's Sephira. Is it Sephira? Sephira. Oh, it doesn't have a Sephira. Oh, no, yes, it does. Ooh, the Chakma. So, alrighty. Sahita, you have the beautiful Two of Wands. Look at the artwork on that. The beautiful colors. I just absolutely, it just makes my heart flutter. Makes me want to just drop this card and go to my painting, my easel, and start painting. But you have the Two of Wands, my dear. And the Sephira from the Tree of Life that goes with this card is Chakma, and which is wisdom. This sphere is often considered the father or masculine principle of intellect and active creative impulse. It is the center which initiates the process of differentiation and is where the blueprint of reality starts to form. So I think I can maybe safely say or tentatively say that Chakma can probably is also can be related to like our Akashic records, our blueprints of our life in this lifetime, and if you believe in past lives, the lives that we've had before, and those that are connected to ours in this present time. So we move over to the Two of Wands, and in this deck it says fearless time travel. Ooh. Of course, the Two of Wands, passion, action, courage, because with the Two of Wands, that's, that you've taken that initial Ace of Wands and you're starting to create, like they said with the blueprint, making a strategy, initiating a outline, getting ready to, however you might want to do it creatively. I was going to look at here, make sure I didn't say the same thing they said. This could be through vision boards. Some people are, like to do it on spreadsheets. Some people like to do it like visual diagram planning, but this is kind of like you're creating the plans and you're starting to set the energy in motion. Beautiful, beautiful. It says here, venturing into brave new worlds and discovering new heights of the mind, whether you're actually physically traveling, around the world, or even new worlds that you haven't explored, maybe new types of religion or philosophies or spiritualities, just wanting to learn. The cards corresponding Sephira, Chakma, emphasizes the power of vision, action, and initiative in turning thoughts into forms. Boom, right there. Also, the Two of Wands encourages us to confront our fears head on and move forward with vigor to achieve our goals. So that's a beautiful way of stepping forward and saying, yes, I can, and yes, I will, and yes, I'll have more of that. Because then by the time you get to the Three of Wands, that's full expansion, moving forward, and the world is the world's your oyster now. But this is like the initial getting ready, setting those plans, getting that not inertia, that ignition going, that catalyst. So for your creative prompt, yes, I can. Love that. Imagine a science fiction story. Bye, Jax. Thank you, my dear. Oh, I hope your grandpa's feeling better. Lots of healing energy to him. I'll talk to you later. Mwah. So imagine a science fiction story that blends ancient ideas into a fantastical new world, but write it entirely in the future tense as if it were a prophecy. So this is about picking up a pen or paper and just having fun with some science fiction and writing something down future tense. And seeing where that goes. It says here, take a few moments to brainstorm the plot, the characters, and setting. Once you're clear about your story, just start writing. Remember to stay mindful of the future tense as you develop your words. This technique can be challenging, but it will encourage you to think outside of the present and imaginatively explore future possibilities. And as my friend Kathy always says, thinking outside of the box. And I took that from her for this series. And also another fun little thing I saw on YouTube recently. Instead of thinking outside of the box, if you're in a little bit of a witchy nature or a magical nature, thinking outside of the cauldron. So I'm even tempted to do one of those. So that's a lot of fun. So yes, have fun, write. Don't worry about whether it's good as other writers. It's all about having fun, Sahita. And it's a beautiful way of maybe tapping into, a future dream that you have. Your character could be like, oh, and she just opened up for me, it would be like a women's center, and she walked through the doors and saw, the beautiful colors of the soft yellow walls or whatever, just going into as much detail, what you feel, what you smell, what you experience, and just imagine it is as it is coming to, that beautiful future. So I love that. Thank you, my dear. And so Sahita was my last reading. Gypsy, did you want one? Perhaps. If not, and everybody wants to run over to Jackie's, I don't mind at all, but I'm going to take a sip and let me know. So I hope everybody had a good start to their week yesterday. Okay. If you don't want to, I will definitely work on it. Oh, that'll be fun. Let us know how it goes, my dear. I'm not pressuring you, Gypsy. I go, if you're not inclined, that's fine, my dear. I just haven't picked this deck up for a while, and now it's just like, what's Jackie's YouTube channel name? Okay. Jackie, it's the name Jackie, capital B, and then the word readings with a capital R. So that would be, let me see if it'll let me do this, at Jackie B readings. But if you put that into so that's what you would put into the YouTube, and it should bring her channel right up. So you're so sweet. I do want one. Okay. I just didn't want to pressure. I just get so, oh, I got to start doing this more often. I got to start pulling this deck out. I've gotten so many wonderful decks that I need to not forget some of my other special ones as well. All righty. Let's see. I am being told to pull from here. Let's see. Okay, I need a card. Okay, this court card has to represent this gypsy. Because I saw that you mentioned caregiver. Bye, Lori. Thank you for being here, my dear. I appreciate you supporting me and my channel when you can. Okay, so that's going to be your significator. All right. The cards didn't stick so much. Oh dear. Still going on with the relationship, huh? Girl. Let me take a lookies here. Here, let me pull out my pendulum. Oh shit. Well, let's not despair just yet. Oh, I have got to stop forgetting to grab one of my pendulums before I do a show. Alrighty. Now I know that card is for you. I want to see if okay. Okay, so don't worry about the oh shits. No, that's fine. Well, you know the word sometimes I say on my channel. So okay, we're going to start off with the King of Wands. So this is your energy because you know I don't do third party. And I almost opened right up to it. So you got the King of Wands, and it's all we know that is not gender specific. Camilla, where is the king? There's the queen, and there is the king. So there's a different symbol on here. Let's find out what this symbol is. It's not a Sephira. So I guess this is going to be another section in my book I'm going to have to learn to memorize. Okay, so where is the double? Oh, this is odd. It's a double fire. Oh, it's a double fire. Okay. A polymath. I think I've heard that word before. But here's your King of Wands. That's your card, my dear. And in the wands for the court cards, they look very much, there's like pyramids, for though they left a pyramid out of this one for some reason. But love the color, love the vibrancy. So this is the polymath. And we're going to find out, even Heather needs to be reminded what the polymath is. So represents the visionary polymath who passionately executes their visions with precision. So this is you, my dear. This is your energy. They have a magnetic presence and an audaciously clear objective of the future. So this is a fire, and fire speaks to a potent blend of intellectual and communicative qualities combined with ambition, enthusiasm, and charisma. So, if we're thinking about who I think we are thinking about, I can see because I would assume both of you are very much in touch with that fire, being musicians and writers and all that creativity. So that fire on fire, I see that like that song from Stevie Nicks, "Fire on fire, rain on my face, fever grows higher. What can you do? What? Somewhere in the deepest places of your mind, that's where I needed you." Okay, I gotta stop before I get in trouble, right? Where I needed you most. So the King of Wands will appear as a message to simultaneously take the director's chair in the story of your life while also acting as executive producer. Oh, okay. By taking this approach, you'll find the best collaborative team members to allow the bigger picture to develop in full resolution. So if we're taking the director's position too, I don't know if you're in the process of putting a band together or a group of musicians to tour with or to play with, but this could vary also representing you that you have that ability to be able to take charge when needed, especially when it comes to your livelihood or your passion, what you love to do. Again, this king is vision, leadership, entrepreneurial energy, and execution. So now your creativity. Let's see what they suggest here for a creative prompt. For a creative exercise, construct a cinematic storyboard of 6 to 12 scenes for a story you'd like to tell. Start by titling your project. The print's a little small. For each scene, note its mood, temperature. It's getting hot in here. No, let's keep our clothes on. So, don't need to be channeling any Nelly right now. So start by titling your project. I'm sorry. For each scene, note its mood, temperature, and intention. Next, create thumbnails for every shot, concentrating on composition and significant visual elements. If drawing isn't your strength, feel free to use collage or another suitable medium to depict your scene snapshots, and I can recommend Canva for that. Even if you don't pay for the pro where you get access to everything, even with the limited, you have the thumbnail like we do for our shows, and you can create with that as well. If you're comfortable with photography, consider staging a photo shoot. So ensure your first scene introduces the inciting incident leading up to the confrontation at the midpoint, while the final scene brings closure with the resolution. Heather, you see a really big picture. Too big? That folk not narrow enough? So, okay. Your top card is the Seven of Swords, my dear. And there's still, to me, because I asked privately if this relationship, not the individual, if this represented the people involved in this relationship. And I got a no. Okay. But there is a sense of some sort of betrayal, a theft. I don't know if because of your when I say lifestyle, it's not a negative lifestyle as in touring, writing music, having to hire people, having to pay people, going to places and making sure that you're getting your fair cut, all that kind of stuff. So there's this tangible energy that something feels like you might be sensing betrayal again. If there's a sense or a fear of not entrapment, no. But like something's being executed. There's like the card's also about strategy. So this is really kind of focusing on um, this energy, JJ. Your underlying card is the Lover's card, and remember that doesn't necessarily have to be intimate lovers. This card is about choices and the choices of the people that we have relationships with. And if there is a 7 of Swords going on here right now, it feels like there is some sort of sense, and I don't know if this is something that is unfounded, that if maybe you are looking into something, trying to maybe find something there that may not be there, hon, or like with that King of Wands, that's where the 7 of Swords here with the music, and there could, I don't know if there's a sense of some sort of a betrayal. Usually like the 5 of Swords gets the betrayal stamp on it. But this here is goes a little bit deeper, cuts a little bit deeper. So yeah, choices to be made in your relationships. I'm feeling, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Gypsy, but, and because again, we all come from different histories of experiences that we've had, things that have traumatized us, that have made us feel like we need to shut down. I mean, that's happened to me here in our community. There are times when I've just had to completely shut down because of of hurt and betrayal. So this could be something that is because the Swords is mental as well. So need to make sure that that there's already like a guilty or a suspicion or this person's going to hurt me, this person's going to cheat on me or cheat me out of something. Yes. I'm going to pull another card. Hey, Beth, what's going on, my dear? I pulled out my my Artist Decoded. Ace of Swords, ideas, clarity. So something, okay. So you've been having ideas, clear communication. You're seeking clarity on something, okay? And it has to do with choices made in relationships. So I'm just going, without doing a full-on spread, my dear. I figure you'll probably be able to figure that out. Getting the 2 swords again. I'm thinking this might be actually real. I keep feeling like, I mean, I know, we've all been there. And I think the reason why, too, that 7 of Swords is coming across as both is because being a musician, I'm sure you've been there where people have taken advantage of trying to not pay you for, equipment, performance, royalties, or anything like that. And not just focusing on that, but other aspects of our lives when it comes to, investments, friendships, agreements that were verbally communicated and maybe not necessarily set down in writing. I don't know where that came from, but there's a clarity. The Ace of Swords tell me there's a clarity of sight, of understanding, and communication. So I'm just going to end it there because that's telling me that you have a pretty good idea of what it is. So go and leave it there, girl. And thank you for letting me read for you. And hello, Beth. What I am doing today is I'm getting back to my creativity show where I am using my Artist Decoded. And the first card that I pull is the Significator, and I read what the creativity journal or prompt is. I think you've seen this deck, me use this deck, where they tell you to look at artwork from art history, or how to write a scene or a screenplay, to watch movies, to do stories and things. So that's what I've been doing. Ah, how creative. Teehee. Thank you guys. Yeah. Okay, cool. Me. I was hoping. I'm having a fun time. And it's interesting. These ones are not, after a while, you're like, oh my God, another read. Not with these ones tonight. I'm really thoroughly enjoying this. Let me just, okay, I read for JJ, and I'm going to be reading for you. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I usually do around 6 or 7. Okay. I'm going to have Sabrina join me for one of these, because she has the same deck as well. Oh, thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. Oh, that came up again today. Wow. That card came up too. Like I said, a lot of us are going through similar experiences, similar things on the outside of our lives, not just our inwards, but all righty. So let me open up the book. You got the world. She's got the whole world in her hands. So let's see, which Sephirot is this one here? It's, I think, the dark red or the brown one. They come with Sephirots, or Sephirots. And so this one is Yesod, right? Or is this Malkuth? Let me, so I make sure. Is okay. So I'm trying to figure out, because these are so tiny. That color. Boy, they made the Yesod and they made the Malkuth. I mean, look at that. Those two look alike. The two bottom ones. Let me see if I read down a little bit further. Wow, that is really weird. Well, I am going to go with Yesod. No, actually, I'm going to go with the Malkuth, because it's Kingdom and you got the World card. So there's your World card. Isn't that beautiful? I just love the art for the major arcana in this deck. That amazing eagle. So I'm thinking this is Malkuth, which is Kingdom. This final Sephira, Malkuth, represents the culmination of the creative process, where formlessness finally meets the solid ground and the ineffable manifests in reality. This could be considered the terminal of arrival, where the spiritual journey intersects with everyday life and fosters integration, balance, and moving forward, being grounded. It's referred to the singularity and the omega point, a metaphysical concept coined by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, posits the idea of a spiral universe that gains awareness of its complexity through the human experience. Viewing every life as a universe of its own, the thought is that convergence occurs when information reaches its highest potential and merges into a space of oneness known as nirvana. In other words, come as you are. Come as you are. So, wow. They go talk about other. Wait a minute, Beth, you're the journalist, right? A similar idea exists in the scientific concept of singularity, which describes a theoretical point in the future when technological evolution occurs so rapidly that human civilization transforms beyond recognition. Ray Kurzweil, a leading figure on the topic, predicts that humans will eventually transcend biology and merge with technology in unprecedented ways. I don't know about you, but that scares me. Now I write tarot deck reviews. Well, that's important too. The corresponding Hebrew letter for the world card is Tau, the final letter of the alphabet. Tau means truth, sign, life, or death, and embodies the soul that has transcended darkness to appreciate the wisdom gained through its spark of life. I gotta start. I know people don't like when you read out of a book, but this writing is amazing in this book. So the basics of the world, things are coming to a conclusion. It's the end of a cycle, the end of a journey, which means a new one is about to begin. And so imagine, here's the creativity prompt, Beth. Denise Villeneuve's film Arrival in 2016, based on Ted Chiang's 1998 novella Story of Your Life, delves into themes of language, perception, and time. The story centers on linguist Dr. Louise Banks, who decodes an alien language that doesn't adhere to linear time. The story and film explore themes of syntax, free will, and the interplay between past, present, and future. For this exercise, using non-finite, non-linear language, tell a story about your current experience of the world as if explaining it to an extraterrestrial who has no concept of an end. Need more inspiration? Consider the characters called the Deformed from the film Gandhar in 1987, whose linguistic traits play with time as they speak in future tense when referring to past events. Wow, that world card is a lot. Your past is now unrecognizable, and the future holds unlimited possibilities. I love that for you, Beth. I love that for everybody. And the world is also a reminder of your power as a creator and the interconnectedness of everything, nothing, and all the spaces in between. Very cool. Yep, that deck definitely wants to come back out, doesn't it? So your top card, like earlier, the star card. So this is a time that you are moving forward with dreams, goals, things that you have had maybe your heart set on, that you've been planning and you haven't lost sight of that dream, and you're working towards it. You know, the star too, connecting. You were just talking about aliens, so maybe you never know, connecting with star beings if that's part of your spiritual practice. But also being immersed in that water, in your intuition, into your dreams, into communication with your higher self and in your spirit team. And you can't see because you're supposed to be standing on land, which is a little dark. So again, being grounded, being in tap with your dreams, the subconscious, and bringing all that together to manifest something very beautiful in your writing, in your life. I don't know, it still feels like there's something else you want to write, Beth, something that has been a dream, has been a goal of yours. Don't give up on that. And your underlying energy is Six of Cups. So there is a beautiful sense of nostalgia going on with that star card. So again, tapping into that inner child, when anything and everything was possible when we were that age, and taking those emotions And like when we were younger, watching, Peter Pan, Jiminy Cricket, When You Wish Upon a Star, you know, um, that's still viable. And again, that completion just ended and it's time to start a new one. And all this is all interconnected, my dear. So that's what I have for you. This is spot on. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. And hello, Christina. Good day, my dear. How are you? How's the weather? How's things in Australia? One of my people on my care team just came from a 2-week vacation in Vietnam and also went to Guam. Apparently his one parent is from Guam. And so, yeah, I'm envying people who can travel and live in different countries to be able to experience that. Beautiful weather. We had some nice weather here too. It was supposed to be 65 today. It didn't quite. It was a little cool, but we've been having beautiful weather, although it's getting a wee bit dry, which is not good because we need moisture, especially with these hot summers that we're getting here now. That's like 100 degrees almost every single day. So hopefully we'll get some moisture moving in soon. So that was my last reading request that I had. So Christina, let me know if you'd be interested in one. If not, then I'll wrap things up. I'll give it just a couple minutes to decide. And in the meantime, today's Tuesday. I might do something Wednesday. Thursday is going to be a very long day. And then Friday, I'll be back for my Friday night show. Don't have any guests. I gotta start reaching out. You would, okay? I was telling Beth, usually I get, I'm tired by now where I just can't read anymore. And today, I think it's because of the art and the positive messages, and I keep seeing birds in it. Bye, Sahita. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for being here. I keep seeing birds in it. Oh, yes, there are. Quite a bit that you can't see now, but these are like, I mean, you have to be up close to see it, but most definitely. I named it Ravenous because it's kind of got like the raven in there, but it looks like these are being ravaged. Things are being kind of torn apart and maybe being reconfigured. I actually had somebody, a good friend of mine, tell me on Facebook under my comments that she found it very scary, that it scares her, which I thought was interesting. Oh, you did it. I don't go on to too often, but I will check. Thank you, my dear. So, alrighty. Wanted to pull from my court deck, my court card deck. And these are like one of the boring kind of cards I'm like looking at going, all that beautiful landscape, and then they didn't do much with the guy. So this is Christina. Oh, you're back. Gramps is resting. For people coming in, if they can send healing energy and support, if it's okay with you, Jackson, you think it'd be okay with Grandpa? Grandpa just had some surgery done today, and all that nice energy, supportive energy to nurture and to hold space while he recovers would be greatly appreciated. Yep, all good. All righty, so Page of Pentacles. The Forever Student. So that is going to be your significator, my dear, for this reading. And that will be where I read your prompt from for creativity, your creative prompt. And so I usually because she's got phenomenal, Jennifer Sodini. I love how she writes. The Pentacle encourages us to explore new skill building areas, seek fresh experiences, and take risks. Now that's interesting because the pages, like to kind of look at things. They're studious, they're academic, they're very curious about how things work. And that's exploring aspects of health and finance, study. The shadow aspect of the Page of Pentacles can manifest as self doubt, indecision, or creative blocks. That's me, the forever student. We all are the forever student. Anyone comes around and says, well, I know all that I need to know of this. I'm just like, no. Mm-mm. Sorry. Experiencing these blockages can sometimes manifest as the feeling of imposter syndrome, which can be incredibly frustrating. But what's nice is that there's a sense of humility. I like that connected to the Page of Pentacles, because they're, the pages are the young ones. They're the ones like the students ready to learn, ready to grow. There's growth. When you say immaturity, not as in they're being immature, but there's a naivety or a naivete to them. And so it's kind of like the world like opening up to them. And they're also, messengers as well, but they do represent ambition, study, foresight, and practicality. Learning and evolution are ongoing processes. Yep. If you've received this card in your reading, it encourages you to approach new endeavors with curiosity and diligence. So studious curiosity, taking time to examine as you remain a grounded forever student. So it's, the Pentacles, being grounded, being connected to earth, to nature, to one's health, ancestry. Let's see. So you're ready for this one? So your creativity prompt, my dear. William S. Burroughs was an American novelist and artist known for his avant-garde writing style and cut-up technique experimentation. This method involves cutting up words and rearranging them to create a new piece of writing or to unlock new ways of thinking. Using this technique as inspiration, write down the names of your favorite creatives or masters of technique on small pieces of paper and place them in a bag or container. Next, pull 3 names out of the bag and challenge yourself to incorporate elements of their style into your own work of art. This could include their use of language, themes, motifs, and other methods that you find particularly compelling. Experiment with combining these styles unexpectedly, creating an entirely new and unique amalgamation of mastery and fresh imagination. This process of remixing can inspire you to explore new creative avenues and awaken fresh and unexpected skills. Very cool. And I do that because everybody knows Heather loves music, and I love lyrics. And there are times when I'll be hearing a song and I'll be like, oh, damn, that's good. Now, how can I take that, rearrange it a little bit, or incorporate it into something of mine, So I love that. I love books and creative art. Amazing. Awesome. So that's great because right now you are going through an Ace of Cups moment, just overflowing with emotions and intuition. And I'm looking at your bottom card. And so I think this is going to be a good project to do. Because, in the process of studying and looking at things, there seems to be something on your horizon that you're taking your time to look at. even more so than like a Knight of Pentacles. This is really, in the initial stages, and it's like you're getting like hits on new ideas, new ideas of studying other things, examining things, very curious. And it's really getting your cup overflowing. There's a lot of emotion. I think there's both excitement. There may be some fear. There is, the sense of getting in touch with your intuition. It's just a cup that is very overfloweth, and I love how like the feathers are coming out of it, very like almost divine inspiration, because cups are also, not just wands with creativity, but the cups, a lot of our creativity comes from our emotions, our connection to our intuition. And sometimes when we open that up, a whole lot of emotions come flooding out of us. Now, your underlying card is the Eight of Swords, my dear. So I don't know if you are afraid to move forward with this new idea or endeavor, because the Eight of Swords is basically like a self-imposed mental block that we put on ourselves, where, we have the ability to, get through those fears, those swords, those negative thoughts, those fearful thoughts, that anxiety, maybe even self-doubt, maybe, self-sabotage in a way, because we're afraid if we follow all those emotions, excuse me, or we go and flow with those emotions, that's something we might fail, or it may not work out. But that underlying energy is a bit of a self-imposed fear. It's acknowledging that you're taking time, to look at things, but don't wait too long. Trust in that emotion, trusting yourself, knowing that by taking the time, not dragging it out because of that fear, but making sure that when everything, is in place and you want to move forward, not to be afraid of jumping into that cup and drinking deeply of it. Because there's really something, and too, with this Page of Pentacles, it's almost looking like a Fool card too, but he's kind of hunched over. That's why this wasn't one of my most favorite cards. But he's kind of like standing on the edge of the cliff there, looking over and just wondering, do I really, and again, more water right there, do I really want to dive into this? Do I really want to jump into this? And you can, and you'll be ready once we get past some. And some of these may not even been put there by us. This could very well be put there maybe by others. And sometimes we end up believing that. And that holds us back too. I mean, I'm going through something like that right now with going back to school. So it's, you'll know when this time's right, but not to wait too long. Don't let that fear, that mental block hold you back. And try that prompt. That might get juices flowing and get you excited, tap you back into that Ace of Cups, and and go with it. I'm excited to see what you come up with, what you do. Only if you're willing to share. There's no force here. It's definitely me at this moment. Yeah. Hey, Irene. What's up, girl? How you guys doing? You warming up any little bit up there in Canada? Is the snow kind of cutting back? Fatima said yesterday, or Fatima said that the sun was coming out more, that, it had stopped snowing. You're welcome, Christina. You was driving and listening. Every time I see the word driving and then the word "and," I think of the band from the late 80s, early 90s, Driving and Crying. They were like the last few that came out before they nail the coffin on Glam Rock and stuff. Bruh, we had snow flurries. We're supposed to have those. Give them back. We need that. You guys don't need that. We do. So I'm back. And I got Crow out there cawing. Oh my goodness, there was ice on the windshield. I'm not used. Oh, I am. That's when you go in, start the car, turn the defroster on, and kind of go back in for a little bit, let it work itself out, and then you go scrapey scrape. But I know that's got to be painful for you, girl. So, wow, I have been on for, oh my goodness, 2.5 hours? No, I came on at 3. So an hour and, an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours. What's a scraper? Things that go on icy shields. Now, there are some things that you can spray on your windshield to melt the ice, but be careful what brand you use, because I got one of those once before and it left like these weird impressions in the glass. And, that pissed me off. So let's see. Yesterday was sunny, a little snow today. Don't think it was as cold as it has been. Never checked. Well, hopefully it's getting a little better. Yeah, you've seen them on TV. There's some you got to watch out for. I think I got a generic brand. I mean, they're helpful in a pinch, but he's starting to realize Daddy's still taking a nap. What? Oh, you know what it is? It's his dinner time, everybody. So, thank you, everybody who joined me and had readings. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for letting me read for you. And I hope everybody continues to have a good week. Try to stay warm. Let husband scrapey scrape, or let the kids scrapey scrape. Those poor little fur babies probably going out wanting to pee and going, Mom, it's too cold to be in now. I don't want to go outside. So, but yeah. So I don't know if I'll do anything tomorrow. Thursday, I get to see my career coach and continue the process moving forward. Oh, excuse me, with school. And then I'll be back for my Friday show, most definitely. So everybody have a good rest of your night. And what is this? I use the rubber part that's like a squeegee and heat from inside my van. Broken windshield and wipers. No. I had mine changed like 3 months before I even left or so. They weren't on for very long. I don't even think a year maybe. And I ended up having to have them replaced again this year. The woo-woo crew. As you can hear him, he's wanting dinner. So I can't blame him. I kind of want dinner too. So everybody, thank you again. I'm going to hop over, say hi to Jackie B for a bit. Give her that, smack that sassy for her. And we'll talk to y'all later. I'll probably maybe see some of you in chat. Bye, y'all. Here we go, Jax.